Hey, 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 how is everybody? Oh, what happened to my voice? How is everybody? What is going on? How are you this afternoon? So, listen, I am your girl, Dr.T, and I am coming to you because what? I want to talk to you about entrepreneurship. I know a lot of times we have these conversations with some of my colleagues, and especially those that may be working for other people or just trying to figure out where their next step is. So I am your girl, Dr.T. I am your sustainable business coach. And what is that? That is somebody that you can come to and pitch your ideas, and we sit down and hash out solutions for your business. I, am looking for women that are in business, that are in a health and wellness, medical, or other fields. But it is up to you to be able to determine whether or not you are an entrepreneur. So let's get started. Say hello, say what's up, say, hey, Dr. T, what is going on? So, what we have here is some questions that I think a lot of business people kind of question whether or not they are, entrepreneurs, right? Are they entrepreneurs? And when you question that, I think that that's a good question. I don't know about anybody else, but I think that that's a very, very good question. So, what are some things that will distinguish you as an entrepreneur? And then, so that's one. And then the other question is what separates successful business owners from less successful business owners? Right. And, sometimes we ask those two questions because we want to be sure that if we feel as though that our business isn't where we want it to be, whether or not that we're having you know, a successful business. So what are the traits and behaviors that drive an individual to start? And what is the favorite word? Sustain. And the other word is grow a successful company or a successful business. So you see why I am a sustainable business coach, because these three things are sustainability is part of being in business. You have to be able to measure your success by your sustainability and what sustainable measures that you may put in place to be there. So one of the things that I feel as though that a sustainable business person or sustainable um, uh, business person does is that they clearly define their business. They clearly define their business, right? So what does that mean? I just clearly defined who I was when I got on, right? I'm your girl, Dr. TLD. I'm a sustainable business coach. I prefer to have women that are in business, that are in the health and wellness industry and optometry. And the reason why I can is because I have been in business for 22 years and I've been an optometrist for 22 years. And I have created a platform for myself and a business for myself that is sustainable. And even in the hard times, it's sustainable because that's where the key factors are. Are you a sustainable business, right? So can you clearly articulate what your advantage is as to why people should be doing business with you? I'll give you an example. I recently had a phone call, and it definitely was a search. It was a lead call just to find out whether or not that my business had the capability of providing the services. And I clearly defined what my services were and how we were able to do it within 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, I heard they explained it and I gave them everything that they wanted back. And now we are working with contracting with this company. So again, clearly defining and articulating how you have a competitive advantage. Now, the competitive advantage piece is really tricky because sometimes you don't think that you can compete with the larger companies. What makes you unique? I will give you another example. I am not your average optometrist. I am ready to take on the hard stuff like glaucoma, cataracts, eye disease. Many of my counterparts may just want to strictly do primary care, contact lens, and just family care. But then I added on to that, where I now, within 2 years of my business, it came to me to provide mobile eye care. Now, people always perceive that I have this big old truck, and I don't, but we are still able to package everything up and be able to provide the care. So example number 2, as a sustainable business coach, how can I do that? I have basically helped and planned and gave advice to many of my colleagues over the years. So this is how I can be a sustainable business coach, right? So that leads me to say, is this adding any value? Do you feel as though you do you feel as though that you have a competitive edge over somebody else? Do you feel as though that you have something special and unique? If you go back to my feed earlier this week, I talked about being unique. What makes you unique? How can you stand out and provide a service or a product to those that are looking for you? And the one thing that I say about competitive advantage, it starts here. It starts in your mind to telling yourself, I can do this. I am able to do this. You know what the issue is, you know what the problem is, and you're going to do things differently, or you're going to do things the way that you want to do them as an entrepreneur. And you need to clearly define what that is. Okay. So that's number 1. If this is adding any value to you, press V. If you are like, Dr. T, you're stepping on my toes, put stepping on toes. I want to help you today to start that business. So if you're struggling in that, go over to Sustain Your Biz. We changed the Facebook group name. So yes, we changed the group name. It is called Sustain Your Biz. And you want to go over there. I'm sorry, I'm looking for something. Give me one moment. So go over there, and you won't regret it. Right? I just want to make sure my back didn't change. So make sure that you can clearly define. So I'll give you another example. You guys, some of you who are in my corner know that I've been working very, very hard on a beauty line. So I finally have my product. So hopefully, by October 1st, I'll be able to launch that as well. I have a clearly defined business, clearly defined product, and I will launch that. Okay. So we say clearly defined. You ready? Clearly defined. Okay. So number 2, that you can clearly define your pricing and your product service, and you have a clear customer in mind. Okay. So you clearly define your competitive edge. You hear what I'm saying? You are clearly defining how you are pricing your product and services, right? Because those things have to go in line when you're doing what? That elevator pitch, right? You have to make sure that you have that in place, right? So you are clearly defining your pricing and your product or services, right? To the customer that you have in mind. So who is your customer? Okay, so that's step number 2. You created your business, you thought about it, you slept on it. Now you want to know who that customer is, right? So for me, I know who my customer is. My customer is somebody that is looking for advice on how to sustain their business. They have a business, or they have a business plan, and they need somebody to help them put strategies and procedures in place so that it can be turn into a sustainable business. It can be somebody that's in the health and wellness, whether or not it's a beauty salon, it's a doctor's office, it's an optometry office. However, or albeit anything that's related to business. So let's say you want to do a shoe shine business and you say, Dr. T, I need help with trying to get this shoe shine business up. Or if it's a business that's doing masks, right? What makes you different than all the 50 million people that just started a mask company, right? So how, and that's part of health and wellness, because it's a mask, is protecting people from the virus or other things that are in the atmosphere. So how are you clearly defining your product, your services, and your pricing? Okay, so that's number 2. And then a lot of times as an entrepreneur, the one key factor is that you're constantly working on your business. Okay, I don't want you to think that when you become an entrepreneur that you just set it out there and then that's it. No, as an entrepreneur, you have to be constantly working on your business. And what does that mean? Seeking a coach. Go to Facebook groups right now, because you're not really connecting. So you can go to Sustain Your Biz Facebook page. Taking some courses here at Sustain Your Biz Academy. We have courses that you can take. And the cool thing that's going to happen, and actually you have to take now, is that now you can become a member of the Academy. And in that membership, you will get the courses. You will get to be able to launch your business right on our site. Within that whole year, you'll be able to have 12 months of coming on and of advertising your business, whether or not it's a post, whether or not it's live. Okay, because my goal, again, stating it clearly, is to help other businesses. Okay, so clearly defining your business, and clearly defining your product and pricing, and you want to constantly work in there. Okay. And then lastly, I talked about this the other day, is basically as you're growing, is then finding employees that are in alignment with your business. So I know for me, I fell flat on my face with that originally. Right? I fell flat on my face with that when I first started out, because I'm thinking I need somebody in my office. I got to just hire somebody. That did not work, you guys. Over the years, I clearly defined what type of staff person needs to work in my office. No, that staff person isn't going to be you. However, that staff person needs to be in line with your company. For example, I always say, I need somebody who's going to work, right? And that this is a career for them, not just a job. So if you just want a job, my office and my business is not for you. It needs to be a career, which means that I need you here longer than 6 months. I need you here longer than just saying, hey, I'm in between jobs and I'm looking for this ideal job and I'm just going to work for Dr. T. No, you need to make sure that your staff, when you are, going through that they understand your business model, your business plan, and how they fit in. Okay, so that's part of being a part of Sustain Your Biz Academy, because there is a class on that as well, and you can learn more about that. You can also have some coaching time with me, as well as being a part of that membership. So head on over or click above, so that you can be a part of Sustain Your Biz. Okay, because I want you to grow and I want you to win in this season. What does winning mean? Welcoming in the new you, investing in yourself, and to never ever give up on you. It's a small fee. Just go on there. You'll get all the information. It's a very small fee. And I want everyone that is in the sound of my voice to be able to sustain their business, and be able to grow their business, to be able to, work their business and still have a livelihood, and be able to make sure that you stand out in your industry, whatever that may be. All right. So if this is adding any value to you, press the V for value. If you have any questions for me, I'm asking everybody now, the name has been changed. Look us up. It's no longer Med is My Biz. It is Sustain Your Biz. It is now our official Facebook group. So go over there. If you're already in there, you don't have to change anything because the change already happened. But it is my job to make sure that you sustain in your life and in your business, okay? Because I, again, want you to win in this season. So this is your girl, Dr. T.O.D. I'm so glad that I was able to come to you and give you 3 tips on how I know that you are that entrepreneur. 1, that you clearly define your business and who you are. Number 2, that you clearly define it and have your product. And number 3, you clearly identify who is working in your business. So again, take care, take care, take care. Again, I'm your girl, Dr. T.O.D., and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. where you're going to have coffee with me. And I'm going to probably twist it up a little bit. I may add a little bit of business in there, but if you're up at 8 o'clock, give me just come on live. I think I want it to be a little interactive. And if you know anybody that sells or wants to market their coffee cup, give them a shout out for me and let them mail me a coffee cup so I can give them some play on it. All right. So I will see you guys on the other side. Again, if you have any questions for me, this is the time. This is your stuff that's going on. This is the time, right? So I want to see you guys tomorrow. Take care.